Hey, welcome. We're going to take a look at exponential functions and logarithmic functions, and then doing the calculus with those. Just as a review, an exponential function is where your variable is in the exponent. Your base here of a has to be a positive number other than 1. Now, a logarithmic function is the inverse of an exponential function. We would say y is equal to log base a of x if and only if a to the y power is equal to x. Once again, a, your base here, has to be a number that's greater than 0 and other than 1. And then that also implies that x is going to then be a positive number. Now, just as a review, logarithms. If you have the two things multiplied after a log, you can break it apart and add the log of the first one plus the log of the second one. Two things divided after a log, you take the log of the top minus the log of the bottom. An exponent after a log, you put the exponent down in front of your log. Also, if your base here of a is the same as this right here, they cancel each other out, leaving you with just your exponent. And the same thing happens down here. And also, as a review, log base e is referred to as your natural log. So whenever you see natural log, that's always referring to base e. And if there is no base written after your logarithm, it's assumed to be base 10. So let's take a look at solving, in this case, an exponential equation. It's an equation because we have our equal sign, exponential because the variable's in the exponent. Since it's a base e, I want to use a natural log. So I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. Now, remember, our base is e. That's going to undo the e here. So it leaves us just with our exponent of an x plus 1. Then to finish getting x by itself, we subtract 1. This is our exact answer. And then we can type that into our calculator with our decimal approximation. If you're looking for your natural log button on your calculator, if you have something like an 84 calculator, it's about the third button in the lower left-hand side. Third from the bottom, that is. Now, next down here in purple, we're going to be solving a logarithmic equation because it has a log in it. So right now it's log base e. So we need to undo that base of e. There's two ways you could do that. We have a base of e right here. Well, I was hoping it would show up. And we're not writing. Wow, interesting. Well, I'm still not writing. That's just downright irritating. Well, assuming there's a base e here, you take that and swing it to the other side. Hits the 5 up as an exponent, and then you would get this right here. Now, that's not the only way you could do it. You could apply an e to both sides, and then you'd have e to the raised to the left side, and then an e raised to the right side of the 5. This e and the natural log undo each other, leaving you with the exponent. It doesn't make a difference if you use the first process or the second process to get here. You still get here. Well, then you got to get rid of the 3 by adding 3, then get rid of the 2 by multiplying by half, our exact answer. Then if you wanted, you could get your decimal approximation. If you're looking for your E button on your calculator, it's the second natural log button. Also, remember when you're dealing with the natural exponential function of y equals e to the x, any exponential function, assuming your base is still positive and what's in front of your base is positive, is always going to be increasing and going up like this here. Now, that's an exponential function. It's 1 to 1, so it has an inverse. Notice it's always increasing, so your first derivative is positive. It's always concave up, so your second derivative is positive. Now, if you wanted, you should probably pause the video at this point, and then go ahead and put your y equals e to the x in your calculator, and then go ahead and graph your derivative. Now, so go to your y1 equals e to the x, go to your y sub 2, then to be able to get this end deriv in your y equals underneath n or y2, hit math, arrow up, and then you should see nderiv show up. To be able to get your y1, you could just type e to the x, but if you want to get y1, you go vars, arrow to the right to y vars, hit enter on functions, and then you should see y1, comma, comma is right, the button above the 7, x, comma, x, close parenthesis. Then if you graph it, what do you see? So you go ahead and do that, and we'll pick it up in the next video.